like devil worshiping when you look, when you see it from afar and you look like a devil worshiping, but I don't really understand it, so I'm not gonna talk about it too much because I don't really understand it. If I didn't understand it, I could have talked about it, but I don't. So I'm gonna leave it alone. But I just didn't want to tell them how that part they go. So right, that's how we want to talk about the SA allegations um, coming out of the woodworks. So, my love, let's go over to Diddy's world. All right, that's so we. So, first of all, there's a psychic lady on the internet where I book upon where she that do some form of psychic reading about Kim Porter, and she was saying that something was gonna break on Kim Porter's birthday, and it allegedly involved with all of that, and things that are gonna come out, and the whole situation and everything. So Cassie, I think Kim Porter, I think her birthday is November 15th. On November 16th, 2023, Cassie come out with allegations and a lawsuit with 35 pages or so that came with a graphic warning, a trigger warning, saying that she was suing Diddy for SA. Um, the allegations were of like intimacy assault and trafficking and pornography and using her against her will, abusing her, beating her, doing all these type of things to her, and so it was a mess. It was the biggest talk of the town. This was like last week. It was the biggest talk of the town. Everybody was talking about it. She put out the lawsuit. Boom. The day after she put out the lawsuit, them second the lawsuit. So the lawsuit come and go in a one day, in a one go. So everybody wonder what really I want, but it was like maybe when a couple months ago when Diddy come out September. In June, Diddy sued Delian for racial discrimination against him. Delian is the one that has the contract with Diddy Combs Wine and Spirits LLC, and is in charge of the contract with him for Ciroc. He sued the British company. This is a British company. He sued the British company that owns the liquor brand, claiming that Diageo has kneecapped his Ciroc and so it's not Delian, it's Diageo. He owns Delian and Ciroc. So he sued Diageo for starving him of resources, capping his growth for almost a decade, and marketing other brands such as Don Julio and Casamigos, allegedly. He said that Diageo was referring to his brand as inferior black brand or ethnic brand that should only be targeted to urban consumers, according to the racial discrimination lawsuit that he filed. He said that they were unwilling, allegedly, to treat their black partners equally by failing to make promised investments in the products by the black owners. And he was seeking a court order to provide equal treatment that he alleges that was contractually promised by Diageo, and he intended to pursue for billions of dollars in damages due to their neglect and breaches in a separate lawsuit. This is filing two lawsuits at one time against this British company that is also in charge of Casamigos and what's the other one? Don Julio. It says in public, Diageo, which is a multi-billion-dollar publicly traded spirits company, proclaims itself a leader in diversity and inclusion. However, it's spoken itself in the language of diversity and equality, but it's a lie. They conspicuously include images of black partners in advertising materials and press releases, but it only promises the inclusion and does not come through it. Um, he said his brands were allowed to wither, getting increased attention only if he demanded it under threat of legal action, and that he experienced systemized neglect amid agave shortages, out of stocks, and vast supply chain issues. He said they produced lower quantities of De Leon compared to Don Julio and Casamigos, and distributed it in far fewer outlets, and failed to provide sufficient and substantially consistent support for the brand. Um, so they also own Guinness, Tanqueray, and they approached him in 2007 to help its struggling Ciroc label. Um, that he agreed to use his widely known name and influences to help promote and market the brand, claiming that he sparked spectacular growth despite the failure for them to devote proper attention and resources they promised when he partnered. Um, he alleges that Diageo leadership told him that his race was among the reasons for his brand's limited distribution to urban neighborhoods, and that he was told that some Diageo executives resented him for making too much money. Some leaders allegedly regarded him as a black man that might prove useful in marketing to black consumers and nothing more. He claimed that their business relationship was tainted by racial prejudice, that he voiced his frustrations for years, and he repeatedly attempted diplomacy only to be met with false promises. Alright, so their response was they've been working with him. The company said that it has had a productive and mutually beneficial relationship with Diddy for 15 years and has made significant investments that have resulted in financial success for all involved. They deny the allegations categorically and will vigorously defend themselves in the appropriate forum. They are disappointed their efforts to resolve the business dispute amicably were ignored, and that Combs chose to damage a productive and valued partnership. And this is what they said. That was in June. And then in September 2023, the judge struck down their motions to dismiss the case or have it resolved privately. So he won got a win right there, a significant win after the judge denied two crucial motions filed by the liquor maker for the case to be dismissed or alternatively sent to private arbitration. The case will move forward in state court with the trial open to the public. The Diageo do not seem like they want that, period. Also, they painted him. They say he repeatedly undermined the partnerships and threatened to publicly defame Diageo if they did not meet his unreasonable financial demands. And they painted him as an unreliable and untrustworthy business partner who failed in his obligations to support De Leon. So, I don't know why did they get up and decide to start war with them and people. Because you know this old British company from 90. According to Wikipedia, Diageo is a British multinational alcoholic beverage company with its headquarters in London, England. It operates from 132 sites around the world. It is a major distributor of Scotch, whiskey, and other spirits. Distilleries owned by Diageo produce 40% of all Scotch whiskey with over 24 brands: Johnnie Walker, J&B, Old Parr, Guinness, Smirnoff, Baileys, Captain Morgan, Rum, Tanqueray, and Gordon's Gin. It's an invented name that was created by the branding consultancy Wolf Ollins in 1997. And their name means Day of the World. Dies in Latin, day, and Greek geo meaning world, and is meant to reference the company's slogan, celebrating life every day, everywhere. It was formed in 1997 from the merger of Guinness and Grand Metropolitan. I know Guinness because Guinness, we make that in Jamaica. And so this company been around. It was Guinness who merged with Grand Metropolitan. So they began the company in 1997, 26 years. This particular company has been in business, but the company Guinness has been in business way longer than that. Let's see. Guinness PLC is a brewery founded in 1759 in Dublin, Ireland, by Arthur Guinness. Um, Originally leased in 1759 to Arthur Guinness at £45 per year for 9,000 years. The St. James Gate area has been the home of Guinness ever since. It's the largest brewery in Ireland in 1830. It became the largest brewery in Ireland in 1838 and the largest in the world by 1886. So these people have been in business from 1759, the greater part of the company. And then people are in 1 second. Right, so we I run from them. Anyway, we run into the war with them. Alright? That people have been around from 17 how long. Them people are not going to take the cylinder and the type of attention and so on that they want to bring to them. Remember, Diddy been doing this music thing since he was born in 1969. He worked as a talent director at Uptown Records before founding his own record label in 1993. He produced and cultivated artists such as Notorious Big, Mary J. Blige, and Usher. His debut album came out, which is No Way Out, in 1997. 1997 is the same year that these people created that company. These people have been with Puffy, and I think they said he started business with them since Ciroc was produced in France since 2003 and owned by Diageo. And since 2007, the marketing and promotion for Ciroc has been handled by Combs. So this is since 2007. So, of all the things that Diddy has been accused of from the moment he came onto the scene until now, of all the things that he has done, allegedly, of all the things he's been said to have done, these people, when you sign these contracts with these people build dirt on you so that they can have that, so that they can use it against you later. And we talked about it when we talked about signing the contract. Diddy's the king of that. Diddy is the king of that. Meaning that you only ride a bike for 2 minutes? What? What?
I'm tired.
You only rode for 2 minutes. What were you doing? You were trying to exercise?
I'm tired.
Are you serious right now? Was this a great feat for you to ride for 2 minutes?
I'm wearing this thing. It's hot.
Right.
It counts as more.
I am done. Literally, can you put that stool up, please? So, Diddy, okay, when Diddy first started out, allegedly, this man was said to have been, he's said to be a gatekeeper. He was working with that guy that had Whitney Houston, the Svengali, Clive Davis, right? He done changed his name so much times. In the late 1990s, he signed numerous artists. In the 2000s, he signed a couple more. In 2003, he created another label, Love Records. He started with Bad Boy Entertainment, signed a lot of people in 1990, Biggs, Faith Evans, 112, Total, The Lots, Bass, Craig Mack, Shine, and Cartons. In the 2000s, he signed French Montana, Machine Gun Kelly, Janelle Monáe, and Cassie, among others. In 2023, he created a new label called Love Records to release his first studio album independently. Diddy is allegedly a victim of the way that he has victimized people. And I feel as if the chickens coming home to roost, which everybody's thinking and saying yes. But the same tactics that he used against other people is what is the same are the same tactics being used against him now. And what that means is that just remember the other day when Kanye came out. Kanye did all that he wanted to do because he wanted to be released from the Adidas contract. He wanted to no longer do business with them because of the way that they were treating him, which is the way that Diddy's complaining, allegedly, that Diageo is treating him. This is the way that these white executives treat these black or these urban entertainers that they get a contract with to sell and all these other things. Remember I told you about this already in my piece on Kanye. One of these, I've always talked about it, how the amount of times that Diddy has changed his name. He's changed his name every time that he's trying to separate himself from a contract. When he signs his likeness and his image to a certain company, every time he wants to use a different start a new company or be a part of a new project or whatever it is, he takes on a new name because that name is already tied to those contracts, and those contracts, his likeness and image, his name, whatever it is that he has sold of himself belongs to those contracts. And so every time that he tries, allegedly, so every time he tries to resell himself, it changes his name. I believe that the things that are coming out about Diddy currently are as a result of Diddy filing this lawsuit. I feel like these people have been instrumental in throughout these years of protecting Diddy from the things that he has done. He has seemed to be untouchable, invincible, because he has had this network around him of people who know exactly what he's doing. Especially when you're talking about the British, you have to realize that we're talking about an older, a different type of Diddy. And these people are established. They are rooted, and they've been doing this for a long time. And he has laid in bed with these different types of people for all of his life, and they know everything about him. They have everything on him. It is not easy. It's not hard to find all the people that he has had interactions with. You look no further than his artists. Everybody has been complaining for years about Diddy. People have, Mace has been complaining. People have, all these complaints have gone out, and nothing has happened because he's been protected. And just the same way that he was being protected is the same way that Kanye was being protected in a different way. So Kanye did not want to be per se protected anymore. He didn't want to be a part of a contract. And in order to get out of the contract, he started going around acting crazy, saying and doing things so he could get away from them people. Because he didn't have to try to sue them or cancel the contract or whatever. They ran away from him because now I no longer want to be associated with you or your name. And then he also changed his name because his name, likeness, and image is under contract to whoever he done sold himself to. It is the same thing that I believe is going on with Diddy, and I feel that because of him coming out against these people is why his life is going the way it is right now. There are numerous complaints about the way Diddy has treated people, his sexuality, his demeanor. It's on national TV that we've seen him mistreat people. Like, all of these things are no secret, but they have been kept under wraps for so long. Even down to this man saying Diddy paid him or attempted to pay him for Tupac's murder. isn't it funny how isn't it funny how Tupac's murder was dug up after him being shot in 1996? He was shot to death. And in 2023, they dig up his killer and arrest him all of a sudden. September 29, 2023, he was charged. This is after Diddy won the small win in the case against Diageo. Um, they're not playing with him. And so because they're not playing with him, everything is going to hit him all at once. I cannot say that I'm smiling and laughing at people's downfall, because I'm not. I cannot. Because having experienced loss, I just can't. I feel like this man is hid behind his money, his wealth, and the people that have protected him for a very long time, and that is about to change. It's the same way when Kanye started talking. Diddy was the one who they sent. Oh, reach out to him and let him know that you want to meet with him. Da 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 da. Kanye was like, they can't send you for me, man. Use the ops. All the ops is coming out right now because these people have everything on him. It's nothing for these people to have a dossier on Sean Combs, and to bring that dossier to the table and start to call in all these favors, so everything start hitting. Whatever we didn't have before, tips are going out to the FBI, tips are going out here and there, all types of different things. Conversations are being had, contracts are being made behind the scenes to bring him down. And it's because he went against this giant, allegedly, I think. But then there are others, right? Today, he got another accusation for intimacy assault. So Cassie came out on November 16th. She said she was suing him. They settled in 24 hours. Then this week, let's see, there was a second person who came out. The second person who came out, she said that he molested her son back. She was at Syracuse University. Let me find the second accuser. So on Thanksgiving Day, he was hit with a second lawsuit accusing him of drugging and assaulting a woman who claims she was also a victim of revenge porn, because she said that he was showing a video of his assault on her. Okay, this one, she said she went with him for a date. By the time they went to the studio, and by the time they got to the studio, she couldn't walk. So then he took her somewhere and assaulted her. And then when he assaulted her, he filmed it. And then a couple of days later, people told her that he was showing the video around. That was the second person. Joy Dickinson Neal. I think it's Joy. She was at Syracuse University at the time of the incident. This was 1991. And she appeared with him in a few clips of a music video. She went to a Harlem restaurant with him. She was on school break for the holidays in January. He pushed her to keep him company while he went to a few things in the city. Like she said, he drugged her. She could not walk independently, stand independently. When she went to dinner, she left to use the restroom and left her drink unattended. In the car, she took a puff of a blunt. From that point on, she don't remember nothing. They went to the music studio. She couldn't get out. Then he took her to a place where he assaulted her, and he videoed it. And a friend told her later that he saw it, and he said everybody saw it. She said her life went into a tailspin. She was admitted to hospital for depression and suicide ideation. Um, she went to the police. She filed police reports in New York and New Jersey. Um, he was very successful, and they told her she would need to have her allegations proven. Um, she was trying to get in the music industry. She was working as a location scout for an industry cameraman, and despite her allegations of emotional pain, she continued to work in the music industry. After the incident, she eventually left as his star rose and his presence was inescapable. So that was the second one. The third, the third, third and fourth coming one. I don't know. Um, Two new suits. Uh, the law is supposed to expire tomorrow. That Cassie said that she wanted to make sure she filed before the law expired. Listen, this time tomorrow, there could be 20 more allegations. Wait, I think the law expired today. The law expired today. So I don't know how many more people have filed suit before the end of the day. By tomorrow, we might see 20 more. So I don't know, because this is a Bill Cosby all over again with everything going on. But this time, I mean, really and truly, the people knew what Bill Cosby was doing, because that was a whole nother story. Bill Cosby was a part of the military somehow. He was getting those quaaludes. I don't know if he was working experimentally. There's a whole thing, and they knew what he was. They know what these people are doing. Um, she was beaten and forced and drugged and all this stuff, and wait. An unnamed woman accused him and R&B singer Aaron Hall, of assaulting them and beating them. 7 days later, choking people, doing all this stuff. She said he intimately assaulted her, and then as she was shocked and dazed and trying to put her clothes on, Aaron Hall came in there and he did the same thing to her. And then she said that her friend, who was in another room, had been forced to do the same thing. So this was like, how many people have they done this with? This is like, how many people? How many people have they done this to? How many people has he done this with? It is so many different things. I'm not even talking about his sexuality. I'm just talking about like the chicken coming home to roost, and it's happening in the now. But there's a lot happening right now. Like, we talked about this on Cafeteria Library. Oh, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, subscribe. If you like what you see, if you like what you hear, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss when I do my videos, which is almost non-existent, but I'm gonna make it happen somehow. So this is these 4 people that's come out in the space of 1 week to complain about this man and to file these charges on this man. Not to mention all these other types of allegations going across the board right now. Now, Cuba Gooding Jr., they say he's the next one. He was accused this week. Also, for somebody in a nightclub, I think that we had heard this before. He was already had been. She already had. I don't know. There was something about this woman that he allegedly had misconduct with in the New York City bar. I think we had heard about this. This had been talked about already. Oh, 2 new ones. Okay. So, Cuba Gooding Jr. was hit with 2 new assault lawsuits this past week. As well. Um, Alleged misconduct. He pled guilty in criminal court for he pled guilty but served no jail time. Now, they filed a complaint in New York State, 2 women, saying that he was touching them and all this stuff, finding them and all these things, misconduct. So he's also received that. Axl Rose was charged with, I don't know if I'm saying the right word, not charged, but have been facing the same type of lawsuits. The mayor, Eric Adams, allegedly, someone filed a lawsuit on him for the same thing. A former model sued Axl Rose. Uh, Jamie Foxx had somebody file an assault against him, lawsuit for the same thing. Jimmy Lovine, is that his name? Also had somebody file an assault lawsuit against him